have a Tea Party challenger who was supported by a number of the Tea Parties, Chuck Ferguson. How do you think you were able to sail above the Tea Party candidate, given the fact that there's this anti-Washington sentiment out there? And Congressman, obviously you were in Washington in the last years of the Bush administration, where, frankly, I think conservative principles went out the window, and you were there.
Well, they didn't all go out the window, but certainly we had some hard obstacles
pretty much
to overcome. One is that. Well, now, Laura, you do have to overcome that sense that, Republicans control things and didn't get everything done that we should have got done. You got to remember the 4 years we did have the Senate. 2 of those 4 years we had it by 51 votes, and that included Arlen Specter and Lincoln Chafee and all sorts of other people. One time we had a couple more votes than that. We did get the Senate to agree to look at this mandatory spending, the biggest part of the federal spending. 75% of the federal budget now.
So why do you think Republicans were revolting? Why do you think so many Republican voters were in revolt against the Republicans on Capitol Hill? If you guys were doing everything you were supposed to be doing, why are the Republicans across this country, wanting to scrape the barnacles off the ship of state up there?
Well, I think that the people did not have the kind of social network they have now to understand that, like the Republicans.
They didn't understand
medical liability.
You're going to argue that they didn't understand, Congressman? They didn't understand Bush immigration reform? They didn't understand...
Listen. They didn't understand that we sent medical liability reform to the Senate 7 times in 10 years, and it never got to the floor once.
But you guys were in charge. You guys had both houses of Congress for a while. You guys had both houses of Congress for a while.
What are you saying?
You guys had both houses of Congress for a time. I mean, that hadn't happened in 40 years. And I think what a lot of folks believe, I'm asking you this so...
Numbers that would allow we never had the numbers that would allow the bills we sent over to get on the floor of the Senate. And that's why that's one of the reasons I'm going to the Senate, to try to fight that fight where it really runs into the final obstacle.
The Federation for Immigration Reform gave you a 0% rating on immigration back in December of 2003. What's that all about? It says in my research here, indicating a voting record loosening immigration. Were you supporting Bush's immigration reform back in 2005? I don't remember you speaking out against it.
No, actually, I spoke out against it a lot. And my view always was that the comprehensive solution was not the right solution. I argued with President Bush about this for 7 years, that the comprehensive solution was not the right solution, that you had to secure the border first, and only when you had done that could you
and then legalize people
with the other things that relate. What?
And then legalize people?
I wouldn't think so. I'm not for amnesty of any kind. I'm no path to citizenship for people that got here illegally would be my view of that.